Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawks. We are San Diego.
Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawks. We are San Diego.
Sunday is fun day for the Little Leaguers. Over 6,000 of them with us here today wearing their Padre uniforms. Here to cheer on the San Diego Padres. Rubber game of the 3-game series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And a happy Sunday to you all with Mark Grant, Dick Enberg. Thank you for being with us. Well, it's no secret. You look around Major League Baseball and the teams that go on to the playoffs in the World Series, starting rotation 1 through 5. Well, the Giants are a good example. The Padres look at that and have to improve.
Well, Edinson Volquez needs to take the ball today and go deep into the ball game, because when you look at the National League, this is not a good number. Fewest innings pitched by starters, 155. What does that mean? Well, long man, get ready today. Hey, we got to go to the 6th inning, and we got to go to a reliever many, many times for the Padres this year. But the last 2 times for Edinson Volquez, he's done very well. Wins in each of the starts, down on the walks, and the strikeouts are right there as well. But the breaky ball, staying on top, staying on line towards home plate. That's why Edinson Volquez has been around the plate and very consistent the last 2 starts.
And he's got to be sharp today. His opposing pitcher is Ian Kennedy, 7-1 against the Padres. Well, the big news is what's wrong with Clayton Richard after last night's performance. Now we're starting to get some of the answers, and that takes us down to Laura McKeeman. Laura.
Well, yes, Dick, we are getting some answers, but this will be something that we'll have to watch and wait and see. Clayton Richard moved to the DL today because of a nasty stomach virus that he got back in San Francisco a little while ago. And Bud Black said he just hasn't been the same since. He's lost 12 pounds, hasn't been able to get out on the mound and give a consistent performance when he started. So Bud Black, with our Geico quote of the game, explains a little more.
Sort of dates back to a couple weeks ago in San Francisco, when he got an intestinal situation. And originally, we thought it was, just going to be a few days. And we pushed him back a start. Came back, started. Wasn't quite 100%, but like all players, I'm good to go. And it has just sort of hung on, and he just can't shake it.
Tyson Ross reinstated from the 15-day DL, and he will go to the bullpen. So the Padres will have an 8-man bullpen. Clayton Richard right now, they'll wait and see what happens. He would have started on Thursday, but of course the Padres are not playing on Thursday as they will travel to Tampa. So that gives them a little bit of time to see if Clayton can get back to being 100%, and then we'll have to see where they go from there. Right now, Dick and Mud, they do have a 4-man rotation.
All right, thanks, Laura, for that report. Let's hope that this is something Clayton Richard can battle, get away from the game, maybe relax more, get more rest, as he indeed has earned the title of workhorse on the staff. And there's Tyson Ross back in uniform with the Padres, and his concern will be that left shoulder subluxation. And how in the world do you pitch around that, defend yourself? They want to make sure that on the comebacker you can get that left hand and glove up to protect himself.
Sure, also swinging the bat as well, but getting back to Clayton Richard, nobody's going to work harder to try to get back. You got to let that virus, whatever that case is, to take its course, and he will work hard. Tyson Ross getting a chance in that bullpen, and you know, thank goodness with the way the schedule works, those 2 off days, because as Laura mentioned in her report, they can go to the 4-man rotation and get things in order, and we wish the best for Clayton Richard there. John Baker trying to get everybody fired up before they take the field on this one.
Baker getting a rare start. That he's excited even when he's down on the bench. He's the good spirit man of the Padres as they are about to take the field. This is Military Appreciation Day and saluting military spouses, and 9 of them are out on the diamond and will greet the starting lineup of San Diego when the Padres take the field. A little misty even this morning, but you can feel the sun trying to work its way through the overcast. Nice turnout with the 6,000 Little Leaguers and their coaches, and here come the Padres.
It's going to be interesting to see today how the ball travels. Not a lot of breeze, but some heavy air possibly. And Edinson Volquez, like the rest of the Padres, have a little chat with everybody out of their position. Very nice.
Such an important role they play at home while their husband is off providing our freedoms. And it's a nice way to salute not just the men and women in uniform, but those behind the scenes that are the power base for families and community. As Edinson Volquez warms up, let's take a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks lineup. Brought to you by Hyundai. Gerardo Parra leads it off, a 300 hitter, and leads the club in the most hits and runs. Martin Prado, then Paul Goldschmidt. Miguel Montero back in the lineup behind the plate, the cleanup hitter, catcher. Eric Chavez at third. A.J. Pollock had a big game last night, a 2-run double and a home run. Jason KUBEL hitting in the 7th spot in left field. Shortstop Didi Gregorius off the short and disabled list was hit in the helmet by a pitch and now has recovered from a mild concussion. Ian Kennedy on the mound.
And today's scouting report for Edinson Volquez is brought to you by Jaguar of San Diego. First and foremost, don't overthrow. Let your natural ability take over. The ball will move. And I'm thinking Toto today. I'm going back to 80s rock. Hold the line. Hold that line between the pitcher's rubber and home plate. Stay on line. Don't leak towards the first base line where you can pull off your pitches, Edinson.
You know, in history, that mound wasn't the distance it is today, and we'll get into that later. I know you'll want to hang on for that information. But meanwhile, the Padres defense is brought to you by Aramco Mortgage. With Quentin in left and Denorfia in right. Will Venable play center field today. Headley and Cabrera, Jerko and Alonso around the horn, with John Baker behind the plate handling Edinson Volquez. Been a tough 24 hours for Bud Black trying to figure out the condition of Clayton Richard. As we look at the weather, temperature very pleasant, very mild breeze as usual out of the southwest. And the sun trying to make its appearance here on this Sunday afternoon. Ted Barrett calling the balls and strikes today with Marquez, DeMuro, and Molina on the bases. Parra steps in. Volquez okays the sign from Baker. We're ready to go at Petco Park with the first pitch. And it's a little low, ball 1. Parra, a solid hitter, 305. Leads and runs, leads and hits. A rocket arm for a little man. And he hits the first one to left center field, and Venable has to chase it down. That ball carrying well. You were wondering how the ball might fly today. It looks as if it's going to be a hitter's day.
So you might see the outfielders play a little bit on the deep side if the ball is going to in fact travel like that. But that ball is slicing off the bat of Parra for Will Venable, squeezing that one for out number 1.
Martin Prado constantly in the Padres' hair. The last 14 games against San Diego, he's reached base every game. His average for the year much lower than his career marks. Ball one, fastball.
Yeah, missing down like that is okay. It's not good falling behind 1-0, but you'd rather miss down there. Well, we talked about the delivery of Edinson Volquez. See if he stays on line. Nice.
Well, last time he pitched here in Petco against Milwaukee, no walks for 7 innings, and he went another 4 innings in Chicago his last start. No walks. So that's obviously a key factor in his success. And he gets another strike.
That's the changeup. Well, let's take a look at that delivery from Edinson. He's always does a nice job over the rubber there. Doesn't get too long with his backside arm action, and then the ball is still in his hand. And he's still on line towards home plate.
Up high. When we replay his delivery, and as he releases the ball, if you can still see his one eye, he's on target.
Yep.
When he's flopping toward first base, you can't even see his face.
You can't flop. You can't be a flopper, right, Dick? You got to stay on line.
I guess I go with you. You're the pitcher. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Now 2 quick outs as Prado goes down swinging, and that brings up first baseman Paul Goldschmidt.
And also when you stay on the ball like that, you stay on line, you stay on the ball a little longer, and then that enables to get good rotation and the 2-seam action in off the plate. And I want to correct myself. I'm actually embarrassed to say this. Toto hold the line was 1978. He holds the line here nicely and buries the fastball in.
I'd have told you 79.
I know you should have told me.
I hate to correct you in that tribute. You do notice I go silent often when you get into that mode.
All right.
Well, watch out for Goldschmidt. When they turn off the lights and they say you can play day ball, he awakens. He's hitting .429 in day games. That's the 3rd best in the National League. His overall season leads his club 5 home runs and 21 runs knocked in, 2 with sacrifice flies last night in the 8-1 Arizona victory. Late swing.
You'll be able to keep track of the pitches on Fox Tracks, brought to you by Southland Technology. You can see what Volquez is trying to do. Fastballs away, breaking balls away.
National League leaders batting average day games. There he is in the 3rd spot. A.J. Pollock in the lineup. .412 day action. Just underway. First inning, a couple quick outs, and the count 2-2. Paul Goldschmidt. Line to left, and the day hitting continues. Digging it out of the corner, Quentin, and Goldschmidt rolls into second with a 2-out double.
Well, he let the changeup in. You can see inside the glove. It's the circle changeup, throws it with his 2 middle fingers. The problem there with that pitch is the location. Right into the wheelhouse of Goldschmidt, and thank goodness he doesn't elevate it. There are 2 outs. Diamondbacks need a 2-out knock. It's his 7th 2-bagger of the year. He needs to locate that changeup down and away to the righties, or down near the shoe tops.
John Baker is going to go out to talk with Volquez, perhaps about that location. Brings up Miguel Montero. Solid left-handed hitting catcher. Off to a slow start. 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position this year. That certainly is unlike this left-handed slugger. Going for the long ball.
Yeah, I love how Volquez is aggressive with that fastball. 92, a little bit of movement on the inside part of the plate, tying him up. And there's the proof in the pudding at 188 versus Volquez for his career.
Montero, the last 2 years, leading all major league catchers in RBIs. Curveball bends inside.
Pretty good pitch.
Very good pitch according to Fox Tracks. Yeah, Volquez has to fight against his reputation with the umpires. That's a strike. In exactly the same spot.
You know, each pitch indicated on Fox tracks 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. That pitch there, as you mentioned it, exactly where, look at, you can't even see the number 2 pitch. You just see 1 and 3, because 3 is exactly where number 2 was.
And yet the number 2 pitch was called ball.
Yep.
1 and 2. That should have been strike 3. He's thrown 4 pitches for strikes, and the count is 2 and 2. Come on.
Pretty good pitch again.
Ted Barrett,
right.
Really a small strike zone.
Yep, belt buckle high. Nothing wrong with that one.
Well, Volquez holding his composure. You can see why he gets upset. Sharply hit, but right at Jerko at second base, and the inning is over. Volquez pitches around. The 2-out double by Goldschmidt. Cabrera will lead it off for the Padres. You know,
not a lot of marks on that bat. Pretty clean.
Tonight's. That's what it says here. Today's Padres lineup brought to you by Toyota. Hopefully, a game doesn't go until tonight. Everett Cabrera, Chris Denorfia, Chase Headley, Carlos Quentin cleanup, Yonder Alonso at first, Jed Jerko, Will Venable still fighting a slump, John Baker, left-handed bats in the lineup, and Edison Volquez.
And right-hander Ian Kennedy on the hill for the Diamondbacks. Hey, use the whole field. He's a good one. He can hit his spots, can't try to pull the outside pitch, and look for that fastball up. Occasionally he will elevate that fastball, and Padres need to be aggressive on that pitch.
At Petco, he's a 1.13 ERA. That's the best, second best ever, other than John Schmaltz on his way to the Hall of Fame, perhaps. Off to a slower start this year, 1 and 2, ERA 4.78. Last 5 starts, he's picked up 2 losses, no wins, and an ERA over 5. Padres hope that's the Ian Kennedy they're going to see today, and not the one that has shackled them in the past. 7-1, his record against the home team. Cabrera starts it and takes a strike. Leads in runs and walks, and his 31st start, the only Padre to answer the bell every game. And he lines this one to left field. That one's going to stay fair. Rolls into the corner. KUBEL having trouble with it, but it's a short distance from that corner into third base, and Cabrera pulls up with a double.
Well, Everett Cabrera knows the scouting report. We just went over it. Look for the fastball up. And what do you have to do? Use the whole field. Don't try to pull that pitch. And just like that, the leadoff double for Everett Cabrera.
The little bit of a smile, and he should. Chance to claim the early lead for the Padres. Get on top of Kennedy.
You know, it would be nice to get an early lead, Dick, and throw up a crooked number, because Kennedy has only received 5 runs of support in his last 4 starts. That's tough.
Well, here's the Diamondback killer, so to speak. Chris Denorfia, 368 lifetime in his career against Arizona pitching. No hitter in baseball has a better mark. Double and a home run last night for Chris. Montero taking forever to give a sign. Now finally, the combination you can see with Cabrera peeking in from second base.
Kind of tilting his head a little bit. Maybe he wants to go away.
Fastball strike last night. The only run the Padres could collect off Arizona pitching, and starter Patrick Corbin, Denorfia's upper deck home run, his second of the season.
The ball is crushed. Swinging the bat very well, very nicely.
Talk about a late bloomer. Almost 30 years of age before he could finally make a major league roster.
Yep.
Look how good he plays. I mean, there's not a team in baseball that wouldn't want him on the roster. Last 11 games in particular, he's worn out. Arizona pitching. Trying to move that runner at least to third. And Kennedy knows that, pitching him inside.
You look at defensively for the Diamondbacks, Paul Goldschmidt way off the line at first base. You can see the Diamondback first baseman there. And Chris Denorfia is very well known for going that way. He can sneak one in between the bag and Goldschmidt.
And at the very worst, if it's a ground ball, get his man over to third. And the count 2-2. The stoic Kirk Gibson, manager of the D-backs. He wasn't with the bat. Kennedy from nearby Huntington Beach went to USC. All-America there. And then drafted in the first round by the Yankees. In the dirt, changeup. Not great body language from Ian Kennedy. Kind of moping around the mound.
I don't think he was too happy with that last changeup. He did bounce it. The first base open. You never know how he's going to go after Denorfia here, but this is where Chris has to shorten up. Think the center of the diamond. Think right field. He just may off-speed him here again.
Too low. You're right. He did throw him another changeup. Now the Padres' first 2-man aboard. As we check the Arizona defense, brought to you by Hyundai. KUBEL in left. Pollock will patrol center, and Parra in right. Chavez and Goldschmidt at the corners. Gregorius gets his first start in the series and his first start off the DL. Prado at second, and Montero behind the plate. Cinco de Mayo Day, this May 5th, 2013. Not a federal holiday in Mexico. It's more a Mexican-American celebration of Mexican culture and heritage.
Love the sombreros.
Swing and a miss by Headley, up there with a chance to do some damage early. 2 men on, no one out. He gets a changeup. Sky's brighter as Headley steps in. Another off speed, 1-1. That's 4 straight pitches at around 80, 81 miles an hour. 4 changeups.
Exactly right.
6 for 20 with a home run and 5 walks for Headley as against Kennedy.
Boy, Montero is flipping through those signs. My goodness. And you key on one, you know, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4 wiggle, and then usually it's the sign after that being the indicator. Let's say 2 is the indicator. You put down a 2, and then it's the next sign after that. So all you do is look for the 2 and then the next sign.
Breaking ball, the curve misses outside.
5 straight now. Breaking balls from Kennedy off speed.
Yeah, the early action pitch. 2-1 with 2 on for the Padres here in the bottom of the first. And a line drive, center field, base hit. Cabrera around third. Here comes a throw from center field by Pollock. Cut off, and the Padres lead 1-0. Headley delivers, and there's still no one out. Runners at first and second.
Kennedy was going soft. First pitch changeup, swung on and missed. Second pitch changeup taken. There's the breaking ball. Okay, now it's a hitter's count. There's the fastball. It was off the plate if taken, but Chase Headley gets extended once again. Getting the elevated fastball, using the whole field up the center of the diamond, and the Padres get a point.
Brings up Carlos Quentin. The sky's clearing just as the Padres come to bat in the first inning. On this Sunday, maybe it will be a run day, fun day. Quentin, his average has dipped down under 200. Back in the lineup, starting lineup. And taking ball 1.
You know, we've seen Ian Kennedy at his best, and over in Arizona or here at Petco Park, and when he is on, he could throw nothing but fastballs and dot both sides of the plate. I'm talking, you could put a dime out there and he can hit it. He's elevating his fastball though early on today.
Chop foul at the plate, 1-1. Yonder Alonso would be next. Good numbers for Quentin with runners in scoring position, hitting .333. So he doesn't have the total number of hits that he'd like, hitting at .196, but has come up with the money base knots. That's why he's right there in the center of the lineup.
Oh, Carlos, look at the body language of Carlos Quentin. He wants that one back. That was knee high right down the middle of the plate. Kind of turned his back saying, oh, how did I miss that one?
One ball, 2 strikes. Denorfia at second, Headley at first. 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Rip foul. Ian Kennedy, when he was married, they went down the aisle to take me out to the ball game. That's what you're talking about.
You think Carlos Quentin could turn on a fastball? You betcha. Turned on that one.
All the little leaguers, most of them in San Diego uniforms. Fly ball to center. Deep enough to advance Denorfia. Headley bluffs and goes back to first. 1 away, and the Padres a chance to add with Denorfia 90 feet away.
Even though that wasn't a one of the classic Carlos Quentin swings, you could hear that ball. He went down and got it. And he's so strong. He goes down and gets this. You could see it really wasn't one of those pitches to where he was on it. But my point is, boy, he's so strong that he still sent it nearly to the warning track.
And that sets the table for Yonder Alonso, who leads the club home runs and RBIs. Infield back for Arizona, looking for a double play to get Kennedy out of this first. Foul back, a nice cut. And Alonso quoted as saying that he's just trying to make things simple. You know, last year I was a rookie and I had to prove my worth. Now they know they can count on me, and that feels good. The comfort comes with that, and he's playing more maturely and with more confidence and comfort. Outside.
You know, one of the things I think we tend to forget about Yonder Alonso is that prior to this game, he's only had 775 at-bats in the major leagues. I mean, that's not a lot. He's still a kid, roughly. Still learning.
His next RBI mark will be his 100.
Nice.
And it might come right here. Maybe more. That ball is really carrying to the wall for the out. Tagging DeNorfia. He scores. It's 2-0. His 100th RBI, Yonder Alonso.
Nice going, Karnak.
So a productive first inning for the Padres.
Hey, it was a changeup as well. And he stayed on it, recognized it, didn't go out and try to hook it. Hit it where it was pitched and sent it deep to left field. Yeah, look at that, a crooked number for the Padres. Love crooked numbers.
Especially when you're at home and it's on that bottom line.
On the bottom line, that's right. Yeah, that's what it's all about, the bottom line, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people like you with all that money, you know all about that.
Oh,
line.
yeah.
King of Alpine. Jed Jerko at 259, the rookie, leading the club in doubles with 9. Headley could score on a double with 2 out. Fouled into the glove. There's another changeup. 2 strikes. Kennedy's thrown more off speed than fastballs.
That good pickup there, Dick. You're absolutely right. For a guy who is usually known for spotting his fastball, just doesn't have the feel. Trying to off speed the Padres early on.
Headley a heady base runner, and Kennedy knows that he'll pick his spots to steal. In the dirt, Montero able to block it. So Arizona concludes this 3-game series, and then the Miami Marlins come in tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday a noon game, 12:30 game. One and 2 to Jerko. Ground ball into left field for a base hit. Jerko extends the inning. Headley moves to second. And the Padres a chance for more. Will Venable the batter.
Oh, you mentioned the body language earlier from Ian Kennedy, Dick, and that one again. Jerko spinning on that one, finding the hole. You got to love the 2-out knock down towards the bottom of the order. Jed Jerko spinning on that one. Yeah, he'll recognize a pitch in and spin on it to the left side. Keeps the inning going.
Strike, and it's 1-1. Scoreboard 1 pitch behind. It's at 0-1, but first pitch was out of the strike zone. 1-1. The scoreboard here at the stadium I'm referring to, not our Fox Sports San Diego scoreboard. Venable 1 for the last 20. But with runners in scoring position this year, he's hitting .353. This is the spot. 2 are already home. The Northview, one of them. Alonso knocked in. The Northview with the sacrifice fly. Ground ball right at the third baseman. And the play at second was almost a phantom out as Prado was late getting there, but the throw in time. Chase Headley in the middle of that 2-run uprise. RBI single. It's 2-0 after 1. Rays baseball brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go. Padres rack up a 2 in the first inning, leading 2-0 behind Edinson Volquez, who will face Chavez, Pollock, and KUBEL in the top of the second. Tomorrow night, the opener of the Miami series at 6:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. The Andrew Kestner against former Padre Wade LeBlanc, the left-hander on the mound for the Marlins. Chavez, a .279 average. Has 4 home runs. They've come in the last 11 games. He's hit 4 home runs. Left field, Quentin, a sliding catch. Line drive held up long enough for Quentin to corral it. Went away.
Yeah, big first out for Edinson Volquez, and Carlos Quentin has a bead on it. 2-hand cradle it. Oh, got it on the heel.
Made the two-handed catch. He needed that bare hand.
Hangs on to it nicely.
Center fielder A.J. Pollock, former Notre Dame star. Good evening of hitting last night. He was the leadoff hitter. He had a 2-run double and this home run just into the bullpen.
A little bit of pop in that bat, eh?
His 4th home run of the year. 1-1 the count. Nice easy fastball, picking the corner.
You know, the one thing I noticed early on with Volquez is that even though the velocity's been 91, 92-ish, great movement on that 2-seamer. Take a little bit off, create a little bit of movement. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach of the Padres, likes it.
Just outside with the curveball. You know, we talked about less walks the last 2 starts, which correlates with victory. And there's also less strikeouts. And maybe that's a sign too. He's pitching to contact.
Yep.
He's getting more easy outs.
That's a good point.
Swing and a miss, and Pollock takes a walk. Second strikeout. So 23 pitches with 2 outs in the second. How many times have we seen 23 up there and he's still in the first inning?
Exactly, Dick. And as you pick inside the glove, that's the 2-seam fastball grip. Stay on top of it, nice and easy. As Andy Ashby would say, the former right-hander, free and easy.
Is it how he said it?
Yeah.
Jason KUBEL, the batter, a 302 average. And he takes a strike on a changeup. There's never been any doubt, winning or losing, about Edinson Volquez's stuff. He's got marvelous major league stuff. And there's another off-speed breaking pitch.
Well, if he gets that feel down, he's going to go deep into this ball game.
Struck him out. Never showed fastball to KUBEL. 3 strikeouts, first 2 innings for Volquez. Padres lead it 2-0.
If you missed our instructional, what a great way to learn how to block the plate. John Baker, and look at Andrew Marquis. He takes out the big league catcher. Let's slow it down for you. Lowers the shoulder. John Baker in the great position, hangs onto the baseball, but a great effort by the son of Jason Marquis. Andrew hanging in there, not afraid to get dirty. That was awesome.
Baker playing the role magnificently. John hitting 143, just 21 at bats, 3 base hits.
Yeah, it's a good day for a nice lid, huh? Even though it's overcast, you know, those UVs can get you now. You got to stay protected.
Fly ball to left center. Pollock with an easy play for the first down.
Those ultraviolet rays will get you every time if you're not careful.
Thank goodness we now know better than back in my youth, where we used to sit out and just bake, try to get as tan as we can.
We used to get damage. We used to get the baby oil out and just lather up, sit out in front of the by the pool.
You look at over the person next to you, and they'd be bubbling on their forehead, and we think, gee, boy, they're going to get more tan than I am.
I'd like to welcome Robert Plant to the game. You in town for a concert?
Volquez, a hit in Chicago, knocked in a run. Lifetime 3 RBIs, adding to that total. And he loops that one foul.
He's shaking it off because I think he got jammed on that one. You see the shaking his right hand.
And he takes a walk, fooled by the curveball. First strikeout for Kennedy.
Hey, kids 14 and younger can sign up for Junior Padres. It's a great organization, a great thing. The official kids club of the San Diego Padres. Junior Padres earn great rewards by swiping their membership card at Padre home games, and also enjoy great events like Junior Padres Sunday signings and much, much more. Sign up for free today at Padres.com/Junior Padres.
Yeah, lots of them here, potential future members. Cabrera got the Padres off on the right foot in the first inning with his double into the left field corner. Came around to score on Headley's single. Hitting .241 left-handed at the start today, almost .300 right-handed. Too high, 1-1. And the proof in his improved plate appearances this year, Cabrera, is in the walk department. 14. He's walked more than any San Diego. Off speed, drops in there.
You know, Dick, I think you'd win a lot of bets if you went up to a baseball fan and say, hey, on his 7th start, Ian Kennedy has been winless since opening day. People would say, oh, you're crazy. With the stuff this kid's got, well, that's been the case. No support for the right-hander.
Lays off the outside pitch. Waved off by Bellino. 2-2. 2 outs. Number 2 at the plate, Everett Cabrera. 2-0 lead. They are wild today.
Yes, absolutely. Muy loco.
And down goes Cabrera. So back-to-back strikeouts for Kennedy. Retires the side in order. On to the third. 2-0 San Diego.
The Diamondbacks 2-0, and it's Military Spouse Appreciation Day. I'm so honored to be joined by Kendra Mulheron. Kendra, just talk about being honored by the Padres on such a special day.
Well, it was very exciting, such a surprise. Had a lot of fun. Spent some time warming up with the kids before we started, and thank the Lord I made it sort of across the plate.
I thought it was a pretty good pitch. She threw out the first pitch today. Very good job. You didn't bounce it. That's the biggest thing.
Not too bad.
So the sacrifice that military spouses make is something that I think people are aware of, but do you think it should be paid more attention to? And what is it like on a daily basis for you?
Well, it is a sacrifice, but you know what? We all know what we sign up for when we join the Marine Corps, especially. And I'm proud to be my husband's wife. I'm proud to be a Marine spouse. And he's great. He serves our God and our country in an incredible way. And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
You also have 4 kids.
Yes. Yes, I do. They're all sitting right here. They're 9, 6, 5, and 2. And they're wonderful. I have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Well, thank you so much, Kendra, and thanks to your husband, Robert, for the service that he gives as well.
Thank you very much. We're proud.
Dick, wonderful people here in San Diego.
Now, Laura, well done. Yes, we are proud to salute them. Didi Gregorius, and he hits one deep to right field. If that's fair, that's gone. It is a home run. 23-year-old, born in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, Didi Gregorius hits his 3rd home run. He has 3 RBIs, 3 home runs. 2-1 now, San Diego.
Well, it's a 2-1 count, and it looked like kind of tough to tell there. Maybe a changeup or maybe a 2-seamer that he just kind of wanted to locate on the inside part of the plate. Didn't have the tremendous movement like ones earlier, but Gregorius turns on that one nicely.
Just off the 15-day disabled list, was hit in the helmet and had a mild concussion.
I'll tell you what, the Diamondback people are just raving about this kid.
Yeah, he came over in the trade that sent Trevor Bauer, the right-handed pitcher, the #1 draft pick with the unusual warm-up techniques, to Cleveland. That ball is hit hard. Right center field. That's up the gap. As Ian Kennedy goes for extra bases. Venable digs it out, and Kennedy pulls up with his first hit of the season, a double. So back-to-back pitches go for a home run and a double. Bottom of the order.
And it's such a fine line when we talk about elevating fastballs. Ian Kennedy was doing it earlier. Well, that one out of the hand of Edinson Volquez. Yes, he gets extended. And Ian Kennedy, he's quite an athlete. He takes that pitch the opposite way.
Going back to last year, 0 for the last 22. Struck that one cleanly. And with no one out, top of the order, Diamondbacks with the tying run in scoring position. Parra fly to center his first at bat. Pops him up. Might be a play in foul territory. Headley is under it, and a quick out.
Oh, not the pitch that Parra wanted. That pitch was up. It was away. Look at that. Actually, it was middle in. Couldn't get on top of it. A lot of communication there, and Chase Headley squeezes it.
That brings up the #2 hitter, Martin Prado, struck out swinging the first inning. That's not Prado usual numbers there. Good stop by Baker in the dirt. Paul Goldschmidt, who doubled, on deck.
You know, I see numbers like that, and the one thing that enters my mind is that maybe a guy trying to do a little bit too much, not waiting for his pitch, maybe being a little anxious.
Came over to the D-backs in the trade that sent Justin Upton to Atlanta. Alonso led right to the bag. Backdoors it. 2 away with the pitcher Kennedy moving over to third base. And here's Goldschmidt.
So the ideal situation here, after the home run, after the double, Edinson Volquez bouncing back, not letting him get affected by those hits. Leave it at 1 run. Take care of Goldschmidt right here.
He's facing Volquez, the man that's one of the very best in all of the National League with runners in scoring position. Pablo Sandoval hitting .515 with runners in scoring position, but Goldschmidt is second. Oh, good stop by Baker. Look at that. He's hitting .500 at Holiday as well.
Power, average, good command of the strike zone, just an all-around good hitter.
Last night knocked in 2 runs with sacrifice flies, both to right field. Kennedy at third with 2 out. Too low, 2-1. Infield deep at all positions. Another good block by Baker. Montero's on deck.
Well, it does for confidence of a pitcher when your catcher can block a curveball, especially with that runner on third base. That's the tying run. John Baker saying, hey, if I put down the number 2, throw it. Don't worry about it. I'll block it.
Yeah, that camaraderie, that relationship pitcher-catcher, so key, and trust being a major word. Whoa, up and in, almost as if he didn't want to throw Goldschmidt a good strike. That's the first walk. Perhaps Volk is feeling he has a better chance against Montero, who's grounded out to second, his first at bat.
John Baker's given some signs out in front of home plate in the event that Goldschmidt goes to second base.
He likes to run, and
yep,
for a big man, has a good record as a base stealer. Inside to Montero.
Infield playing him to pull. Not good numbers. 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position. Still got to make a good quality pitch here. Maybe something soft down and away. Have him roll it over to Jed Jerko at second base.
Tails outside, 2-0.
This is a situation where the outfielders, 2-0 count, it's a fastball count. You might be getting a little ready out there. Just, you make a bad pitch and Montero puts a good swing on it. How about a grounder to the right side here?
Two 1-1. Great placement.
Exactly where he wanted it.
Quite a football player, that man, at Michigan State. And he felt he had a career in the NFL. Elected to go the baseball route, and we all know about his heroics. Runner goes in the dirt, and Baker at least holds a runner at third. So that's steal number 4 for Goldschmidt. So first base open with Eric Chavez next.
I think John Baker's had 3 saves this inning with the runner on third base, breaking balls in the dirt and smothering them out in front of home plate.
Inspired by the Stanley Cup playoffs, huh?
Yeah.
With first base open, will Volquez give Montero something to hit here on 3-1? Swing and a miss right on the outside corner.
Well, 2 fastballs this at bat that Montero's had difficulty catching up to. First one was 2-0 count, down and away, and that one there.
Well, a big pitch coming up here. 2-1 the score. 2 men in scoring position for Arizona. And a full count on Montero. He walked him. So back-to-back walks here have loaded them up. Kennedy, the pitcher, with a lead up, a double after the home run by Gregorius. After a couple of outs, Goldschmidt and Montero work walks, and that brings Darren Balsley to the mound with Eric Chavez, the hitter.
I think the main thing here is you got to try to encourage your pitcher not to get disgusted. I mean, don't get disappointed. Sure, you walk 2. Pitch count's getting up there a little bit. 46, not bad though, considering Edson Volquez. Now, there's been a couple times this year he's been in the second inning with 46. He's got a good live fastball, good movement. You see the breakdown, not the best as far as balls and strikes.
Yeah, crucial early moment in this game. Top of the third, bases loaded. Padres lead 2-1. Who wins this battle? Fry. Went back to the heater.
Right on the corner. Course of 8th and J.
Jerko to Alonso, and out of trouble, Edinson Volquez. D-backs do get a run on the homer by Gregorius. Time now for the Sequan Casino Daycation stat of the game. Most career strikeouts. Arizona franchise history, and Ian Kennedy moving up the list is now 4th all time. Be tough to catch that man on top. Big unit. Over 2,000 strikeouts while wearing the Arizona colors. Cinco de Mayo.
I should have brought my sombrero today.
Chris Denorfia walked and came around to score in the first inning. And a pitch on that outside corner for a strike. One and one breaking ball.
Well, Mark Sweeney's down by the Padre dugout, and Mark, the recent success of Chris Denorfia. Well, you talk about a hitter being locked in.
Yeah, and he's getting much needed at bats, and I love the right on right at bats that he's getting too. He's earned them.
He had been platooned, of course, against left-handed pitching with Bill Venable against righties, but you know, he doesn't get as many at bats. There's not that many left-handed starters, but now has proven his worth in there against the right-hander Ian Kennedy, in part because Cameron Maben, of course, is on the DL. That opens that door for Chris, and he's taking full advantage. On the outside corner at the knees, 3-2. Barely so.
Got to be looking down and away.
And that's outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk.
And Mark, everything that Chris DeNorfie has been doing recently, using the whole field, big hits, but I love the 2 walks here. I mean, it's just as good as a hit, and it gives him a chance to let the other hitters know what Kennedy's throwing out there.
Yeah, Mark, I think, you know, the recent success and the numbers he's put up against the Diamondbacks, that's the reason why they're pitching him very carefully. Almost a 2-strike approach that they've done today, especially Chris DeNorfie.
Foul back by Chase Headley, who drove the ball to center field for an RBI single in the first inning. Huge hole on the right side with Goldschmidt anchored at first, and Prado swung over near the bag in double play position. Quite an alley there for Headley to aim at. Padres trying to get that run back scored by the D-backs in the top half of this inning. It's 2-1 Padres. You're not taking much of a lead. Very deliberate Ian Kennedy today. I don't remember him being this slow going to work.
You're right.
Ooh, just missed him.
Kennedy went with a slide step as well, a little bit too quick. Quick on the front side, just a little bit too quick on the backside with his arm, and nearly hitting Headley.
Headley in a hitting streak of 10 in a row, batting at .389 with a couple of homers.
Heating up after that thumb injury, right? Getting put into the mix. Getting better and better as time goes on. As the summer heats up, chances are Chase Headley is going to get hot as well.
One ball, 2 strikes on Headley, no one out, and DeNorfie with the leadoff walk. Scrambling back to the bag again. Oh, come on. How many times has he had to throw with it?
It's got to be 4 or 5 now, isn't it?
Well, guys, we also saw the back-to-back slide steps going to the plate. You know, much of that is trying to hold Chris DeNorfie close to home, but also disrupting the timing of Chase Headley too. Dual purpose on the slide step.
Count remains 1-2.
Looked like Chase tried to hook that last pitch, Mark, that changeup through that hole on that right side.
And that's what it does. Offensively, it just changes your timing because you're trying to load your hands up and whatever your load is to get back into that hitting position. That slide step changeup, very difficult. It speeds you up a little bit.
Kennedy continues to play catch with Goldschmidt. Hit well to left field. High. Is it long enough? No, it isn't. KUBEL in the corner with a catch. And Denorfia all the way to second base has to scamper back to first.
And by the reaction of Chase Headley, he wants that one back. He thought he could have got on top of it and sent it a long way. So Kennedy going up and in, trying to, you can see the 3 pitches. That was the one pitch that was down and away. Another elevated pitch. So Chase Headley had some chances, especially on that last one. Just didn't get on top of it enough.
Here's Carlos Quentin, flied fairly deep center field his first time. And around he goes on a changeup. Time for Kennedy to throw to first base. Oh, he doesn't. 1-1. Denorfia has 2 stolen bases. Padres as a team with 20, led by Cabrera's 8. Breaking ball well outside. 2-1 to Carlos Quentin. At the bottom of the 3rd inning, Edinson Volquez resting, watching the action as Ian Kennedy at work with 1 out and Denorfia at first base. Lays off the changeup. It's downstairs. Has the pitch count up to 55 now for Kennedy.
Oh, you know, with Kennedy throwing the pitches he's been throwing today, my goodness, 3-1 fastball count. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to throw something off speed right here. Trammell giving the signs from the bench to Miguel Montero. See if he sets up away here.
Line drive right at the shortstop. No chance to double up as Denorfia read it well and did not leave first base by any distance.
Hey, earlier there was a foul ball right in the stands. Hey, let's give it to a kid. And if you want to work on your stuff, don't do it at the yard. Hits her right in the dome, and then watch the parents. Hey, who threw that? She's saying. Who threw that? Hey, there it is. Jim.
Guilty. Look at that.
That's priceless.
You know what you've just done to us.
Oh, it's okay, big man.
Just trying to emulate the heroes out there on the field.
Looks like he's in a little timeout right there.
Yeah. Yonder Alonso knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly to left. Don't forget, Mother's Day a week away. Another changeup.
Yeah. Boy, not a lot of fastballs today from Kennedy. That was the 57th toss from the right-hander.
And another. It's almost slow pitch from Ian Kennedy.
What the Mario Soto's going on, Mark Sweeney?
You know, Mark and Dick, we always talk about scouting reports. Ian Kennedy might go on back to the previous start that he had against the Padres. They might have jumped on that fastball. It's probably why we're seeing a lot of breaking balls off speed.
Paying a lot of attention over to first base, stepping off speed stuff. You know, Mark Sweeney, you hit the nail on the head. That would disrupt the hit. If I'm a hitter, that's disrupting my timing.
Oh, it is.
The slide step as well.
It's very difficult. And then you try to get prepared for that fastball. You see that changeup looking like a fastball out of his hands. He still has arm speed with that changeup.
Ahead of Alonso, 2 strikes.
Another one.
He's not going to throw many fastballs, apparently. That one gets away, and that'll move Denorfia into scoring position. Wild pitch, Kennedy. Tough to backhand, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
For the catcher.
You know, especially when you're set up away, and that's tough to get in front of that. That's like a do or die situation, but you're right, Dick. Not good chance right there to pick that one.
Well, Alonso a chance to knock in his 20th run of the year and get that run back. But rolls this one to first. Goldschmidt with the easy play, and we've completed 3 at Petco. Padres 2, D-backs 1. Errors, have left 3, and it's 1 run 3. It's no errors for the D-backs, and they've stranded 4. John Baker, Mark Grant, doing a good job behind the plate.
So you want to be a big league catcher? Well, it's a lot of work. Not just swinging the bat, but also putting down signs, setting up hitters, and blocking balls in the dirt. Curveball, curveball. But look at the technique. Knees down, chin down to the chest protector. Square up those shoulders to the diamond so that ball doesn't ricochet off. You want to keep it right out in front of home plate. John is doing a fine job. I counted 3 saves with that runner on third base, preventing a run to score.
So Volquez goes to work in the 4th against Pollock, Kubel, and Gregorius. Pollock struck out swinging first time. Two and 0. So the injury to Adam Eaton, who is to be the starting center fielder and leadoff man. Men like Pollock getting a chance to play and prove their worth, and He's done a good job. 272 with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. All 3 pitches are in the strike zone, but the count's 2-1. Headley, foul ball. Foul ball.
You know, Mark, you talk about the job that John Baker has done behind the plate, especially today blocking balls, and we all have influences in our career. And he talks about Jason Kendall up in Oakland being a very big influence on his career and also doing just that, blocking balls behind the plate.
Well, good call. Jason Kendall, what a gamer. And, of course, his dad, Freddie Kendall, caught here in San Diego. Yeah, Jason was, man, he was a good one.
Broken bat roller. Cabrera on the charge. Throws him out. Pollock is an excellent runner.
Ah, that's music to my ears. The old snapping shillelagh. 2-seam fastball in. Snappy.
Senior dictionary of good words. Snappy.
Yeah. How many bats did Drysdale used to just saw off? And Nolan, when you saw him back in the day.
Well, they were, they were different style bats, though.
That's true.
They were bigger handled bats. And one of the reasons why so many break it, the feeling is that the handles to get more bat speed are thinner, and there's just not as much wood there.
That's a good point.
Two and 0 the count. KUBEL struck out swinging the first time. Great to see all the youngsters out here today.
Love those unis.
Over 15,000 of those San Diego Padre uniforms donated to the Little League teams around the county. First base, Yonder, unassisted, 2 away.
Major League Baseball and People Magazine have teamed up to pay tribute for heroes. Now through May 17th, visit tributeforheroes.com to nominate an active or former member of the Armed Forces of the United States or Canada for their chance to represent their favorite MLB team at the 2013 All-Star Game. Winners will be announced July 10th. Log on now for more details.
Marines from Camp Pendleton, the recruits are with us as per usual here on a Sunday. Gregorius homered into the right field seats his first time. Part of a 3-team swap. A key player, Shin Soo Chu, who went to Cincinnati, is having a terrific season. Fouled at the plate. The home run pulled deep to right field. There was no doubt down the line, except if he might hook it foul. He did not. And that's his 3rd of the season. Oh my, now there's some treating right there. That double colored icicle. Yonder, look at him sneer that one and make the play himself. A veritable gazelle there at first base as Volquez retires aside in order in the 4th. Jerko, Venable, Baker coming up for the home side.
details, especially the military hymn. Absolutely love that. Bottom of the fourth coming your way, and it's 2-1 Padres. Jed Jerko's coming up to bat, and on Little League Sunday, we've got a lot of things going on today, but Little League Sunday, another important factor. We've got kids all over the ballpark, and it's fun to ask some of the big leaguers about their days as Little Leaguers. Jed Jerko told me a great story. When he was 5, he actually was kicked out of his Little League group by some of the parents of guys playing against him because they said they were afraid their kid would get hurt because Jed threw so hard. And when he was kicked out, he moved up to the older age. He also said that he didn't like the fact that they would allow every kid to bat in every inning. He would leave the field after 3 outs, Dick and Mud.
Well, he's been hitting baseball since he was age 4 in his family with older brothers, trying to be better than the big brother.
Yeah.
Nice catch, Papa.
So we can say that Jed Jerko was a big leaguer from day one. He wanted to play by the rules.
That's right. Singled his first time, 0-2 the count. He's been a confident man from his very youth. I mean, and you can see how it's carried over even as a first-year major leaguer. Swings and misses, and that for Kennedy is his 3rd strikeout.
And what do you know? He threw him a changeup. Ian Kennedy having difficulty locating the fastball. I went over to the Arizona Diamondbacks booth just to do a little homework in between innings, and I asked Bob Brenly, their color analyst, hey, what's the deal? He goes, not locating the fastball. He's trying to off-speed him with the curveball and the changeup. There's BB. Now in Arizona.
Here's Will Venable, and he decides to pull off that bunt try. He had Chavez at 3rd and Goldschmidt at 1st charging. Grounded out. Hard ground ball to 3rd is only time.
I remember Patrick Corbin threw a lot of off-speed pitches last night. Changes in particular. Matt Williams on the right, Charles Nagy on the left.
Well, happy birthday to Charles Nagy. He's 46 today. So Mark Sweeney, when a man is throwing that many, almost the majority of his pitches, changeups, don't you go up there looking to not fastball but a changeup, take your chances?
Yeah, I didn't. So many times I didn't look for a changeup. I actually looked for a fastball, but I would shift the field. I'd try to hit that fastball to left field, even left center from a left-handed hitter's standpoint, and that kept me on that changeup, so I didn't hook it foul.
Foul back. So you set up to hit the fastball left field, so if the pitch is slower, then you make it, then you can pull it sharply to right.
Yeah, I think a part of that too, Dick, is understanding what your strength was, and if you come up here to the big leagues, you got to be able to hit the fastball, and I know Mark can talk about that too.
You know, I remember Frank Howard. I don't know if you ever dealt with Frank Howard before, Mark Sweeney, but when he was a coach, he always told his hitters, if you ever let a fastball go by with a fastball count, or you don't put a good swing on it, he's going to just jump down your throat. That was his pitch as a player, too. I mean, Frank Howard, he never let a good fastball go by. He came out of his shoes.
I think everyone that you talk to about around baseball, you ask who hit the ball the hardest. Frank Howard's name comes up a lot.
He sure. I mean, he would hit line drives. The shortstop would jump and almost catch it and go over the left center field fence. Here's Baker with a 1-out walk to Venable.
Well, guys, this is the challenge, too. We saw with Chris Denorfia, Will Venable, a base stealer. You're going to see a lot of slide steps probably, so John Baker has to understand that as a hitter. He's got to load up.
Venable with 4 steals. Baker takes high.
And guys, what you can do offensively is almost spread out into your 2-strike approach. So you're using your hands and you try to take the movement out of your swing.
Baker got a fastball to start.
Again, 87.
So John Baker, who came here to San Diego a couple years ago, in the trade to Miami, Wade LeBlanc, and they'll be facing each other in the series coming up. LeBlanc scheduled to pitch tomorrow night. Padres lead it 2-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning here at Petco Park. 1 out walk to Venable. A ball and a strike to count on Baker.
Yeah. She brought her glove to the yard. Love that. I love those are the old PCL Padre uniforms, which I love.
I do too.
Those are awesome.
I like the red outline.
I do too. Yeah.
Just a little touch of red for some fire. Bring out the bull in the team. They're off speed.
Of the old PCL unis, that's my favorite. And then of the big league uniforms, I'm down on the brown, bro. You got to bring back the brown.
I think you get some votes against that.
Yeah. Not particularly that one.
Oh.
But
okay.
Like the 84-ish. 83, 84.
With the white pinstripes and the brown and orange?
No, that one right there. That hat. And then that jersey, I think, was in the late 70s. That was like 78-ish. I even like that one.
As a fan, I just didn't become too warm to that combination. Whoa. Up and in, and ball is the call. 2-2. I like the idea, the home uniform being basically white, and then you do the rest,
sure,
whatever you want with it. But to have it all color, bit overwhelming. Up the middle, should be 2. There's 1. Back to first. A double play. 4-6-3. Padres are out in the 4th, and Ian Kennedy settling into a good game.
We had our closer on the mound, Bobby Allen. Not only was the closer, he started the game.
That's the way it was.
So we went to the mound and we said, you know, hey, if you get a ground ball, throw it to first. I was the first baseman. So we're up a run, and a ground ball went to Rick Dawson. And Rick's he was a good guy, good player. Ground ball went to Rick at second base, tried to throw it to third, threw it wildly, run scored. Anyway, they ended up beating us. So it was so ironic that we had the meeting on the mound as 12-year-olds, and then 45 seconds later, a ground ball was hit to him, and he threw it to third.
Bud Black on his Renton, Washington days as a little leaguer, and remembering all the names.
You know, the great thing is how Buddy sets it up. I love his facial expressions. And it throws out the names of his players. Good player.
Light mist. You could feel the moisture in the air here. In fact, half inning ago, I said, the old farm boy instincts. There's some rain around here. Not heavy, but enough to get the umbrellas and some covers out.
You're a walking almanac.
Yeah, that's just, you feel it.
When should I plant my corn?
Well, wait till the rain settles.
Okay.
And then the ground moist, that's a good time. Volquez working on Kennedy, and the count goes 2-0 as Kennedy rifled a double to right center last time up. So Volquez working carefully to the opposing pitcher. And it's 3-0. Not happy with that delivery.
About got to battle all the way back here. Fire and strikes. Starts with the next pitch. Strike one. Throw it right down the middle.
Don't want to walk the leadoff man, especially the pitcher. It's a double sin. There's one of them. Kennedy probably taking again. Lay it in there and make him swing. Walked him. Bad sign. Leadoff man aboard, the third walk from Volquez. Headley comes over from third to say something to Edinson.
You know, timing's everything, Dick. And when an infield like Chase Headley comes in, try to pick him up a little bit. And I couldn't tell you what Chase told him, but it also goes back to the mentality. I mentioned Jason Marquis talking about Clayton Richard. All it takes is one pitch right here. You get a double play ball.
That may be the message Headley took to him. You know, get it on the ground. We'll help you out.
Sure.
Power, a tough man to double up. He's flying to center and fouled to third. Bunted hard, so they got to play at second, and they get the force.
We talk about pitchers firing strikes to the plate. Edinson Volquez gets this one on the short hop. Fires nicely to second base for the force out to get that lead runner.
Parra, had he
nicely
pulled
done.
that drag bunt more toward first, would have been successful, but gave Volquez a chance, and he gets the lead runner. One out. Kennedy happy to get back to the dugout. Martin Prado is struck out and grounded out.
Saw bench coach Rick Renteria going through all the signs. Right hand, left hand. Which one is hot? Which one's the decoy?
That's part of the fun of being a little leaguer. These young kids, going through the signs. You know, the bunt sign is the belt, B for belt.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It could be first sign, could be last sign, could be right hand, left hand. It could be Darren Balsey doing that. And Rick's the decoy. Could be somebody picking their nose or something.
Oh, watch it now. That's a different sign.
That's the pickoff move.
Maybe in your league.
I remember Tony La Russa when he was managing with Oakland. He would give the signs with his right hand, and his left hand would either be in his pocket of his jacket or out, and that was determined whether the signs were hot or not. If the hand was in his pocket, then it was live. If the hand was out of the pocket, it was just a decoy. Or
runner goes.
Vice versa.
Throw by Baker. And another steal for the opposition. Close. With Jerko slapping on the tag, but Parra has the steal.
A pretty good jump, pretty good pitch to handle too. And it looked like John Baker just hesitated just a tad, just a little bit.
Fourth steal for Parra. Well, he didn't have the ball, and had he been able to field it cleanly, doubtfully he would have gotten Parra. Good breaking pitch. 2-2.
It's that part of the game possibly where pitchers get up in the bullpen, start stretching a little bit after sitting down for 4 innings.
Headley looks Parra back and throws out Prado. 2 away.
That's the perfect example of a pitcher trying to pound a two-seamer into a right-handed hitter and keep the ball in front of the runner. That's a hard pitch to take the other way, inside out with that two-seam movement. And as a runner at second base, you see the ball to third. You got to hold. You got to retreat back to second base. And now 2 outs for Edinson Volquez.
Goldschmidt steps up, the leading RBI producer for the D-backs. Double and a walk today. Fastball, first pitch, strike.
Well, Dick, we talked about the bullpen. You know, people in the stands can bring their umbrellas. Well, look at where are the Padres? Well, they have protection underneath, and that is that way. Now the Diamondbacks, hang with them.
You'd think it's a torrential storm. You know, people in the Midwest and East must say, "Oh, it's wimpy." People in the West, you know, Arizona and California, a little light mist, and it's heavy. This will be headline news tonight.
There's your umbrella.
1 ball, 1 strike. Parr at second base, a 2-1 game, top of the 5th inning.
A pretty big secondary lead by Parr at second. See how far off he was? Nearly a third of the way to second base. Jed Jerko shading a little bit towards second base there. Maybe a snap throw. After that pitch goes to home plate, he shuffles off quite a bit.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Good curveball. Chopped off home plate. Cabrera gets the big hop and throws him out. Good play by Cabrera. He had to charge hard. If that ball bounces once, Goldschmidt with his speed has a base hit.
we head into the bottom of the 5th. And first of all, want to make sure I apologize. Earlier I said it was the military hymn. It's actually the Marine Corps hymn that was playing. We want to make sure that we get all of those things straight here on Military Sunday, and I'm very sorry for that. Let's get into our Twitter poll today, AT&T Twitter poll, and we're going to ask you what you like the most on Cinco de Mayo today. A, hashtag tacos cinco, burritos cinco, enchiladas cinco, and you also have fajitas cinco and tamales cinco. You can vote on Twitter by using those hashtags. Guys, a lot of beans in our Twitter poll today.
Do you have to take 5? I mean, you have to eat 5 on Cinco de Mayo?
I'm looking for F, all of the above.
Well, there's your 5 then.
Yeah.
There they are. The whole meal. I like the fajitas. I like that when they come
Big
sizzling.
Fan, huh? Yeah.
Edinson Volquez, 2 strikes down. And a weak wave and a miss. 4th strikeout for Kennedy. He's been a different pitcher since the first inning when the Padres got their 2 runs. Not a hit since. Everett Cabrera slowly making his way to the batter's box, giving Volquez a chance to settle in the dugout. Cabrera, and Denorfia follows him. It was his double that turned on the switch in the first inning. Denorfia then walked. Headley singled in a run, and the other run came home on Alonso's sacrifice fly. Finally a fastball, and Cabrera eagerly went after it.
Looks like a fastball in coming here.
He tried 1-2.
And he missed with that pitch as well. That pitch leaked over to the heart of the plate. That could have spelled trouble.
Not a bad idea to try to lay down a bunt. The grass is a little damp, makes it a little tougher to field cleanly and get a good grip for the throw. Curveball inside, 2-2.
I think Kennedy's going to be very careful with Cabrera. Remember that double to lead off the game was an elevated fastball away. So he's trying to keep the fastball in, curveball down and in.
Fastball up and in.
And that'll straighten you up if you're looking out and over the plate.
Cabrera up on the handle with 2 strikes. 3-2.
Looks to me like Kennedy's trying to add a little bit more to the fastball now as we get later in the game. Notice some fastballs, 87, 88. That one was 91. Saving a little extra as we go into the middle of the game. There you see the difference in pitches this afternoon. 91 and 75.
Well, Kennedy himself had a big scare in his baseball career 4 years ago. Remember, he had that aneurysm in his pitching shoulder. He's out the whole year. Came back late in September, and the Yankees traded him a couple of months later to Arizona. Pulled to right into the corner, but not far enough away from Parra. 2 away. Denorfia up twice, walked twice, and scored one of the 2 runs back in the first inning. Kennedy has walked 3, struck out 4. Again, if you're just joining us, Clayton Richard has been placed on the disabled list with that stomach virus or whatever. It hasn't been officially medically defined. And we'll give you more on that later. 1-2-3 inning as Kennedy mowing them down after 5, 2-1. Padres. Brought to you by Sequan Casino. Real friendly, real close. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. And there on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, the total amount of rain that has fallen on Petco Park today. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just enough to settle the dust on the infield.
Doesn't bother that great statue of Tony Gwynn out there in the park.
He could hit when it was warm, when it was cold, when it was raining.
His Aztecs with a win yesterday. You see?
Nice.
Top of the 6th inning. Middle of the order for Arizona against Volquez. Montero, Chavez, and Pollock. Montero has walked and grounded to second.
We've got ourselves a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel.
Jerko, convenient hop, and 1 away. So here's the news on Clayton Richard. He's lost 12 pounds. It's an intestinal condition that they're concerned. They don't know exactly what it is, but he's weakened, and that accounts for his failure to be himself as a starting pitcher. So he's been placed on the 15-day DL, and Tyson Ross reinstated from the DL with that left shoulder subluxation. Chavez lined to left and grounded to second. And now the sun trying to burn its way through the overcast skies. Out in front.
You can see Chavez trying to take that changeup and hook it to the right side rather than trying to stay on it. Yeah, as you take a look at the outfield, trying to play him the opposite way and pulls Chavez on the infield.
Smothers another.
He's got them all mixed up.
1-2 the count.
Edson Volquez got a good feel for that changeup and that last curveball.
A tight one, 2-1 San Diego. They're 2 runs back in the 1st inning. Uh-oh. Lined right at the foul pole, and it is foul. Not by much. He was somewhat fooled on the pitch and still had enough left to line it.
Changeup, caught it out in front. Changeup, outer half, hooks it. Just a little bit too quick to that baseball. Strike 2.
At Petco porch, an inviting target for Chavez. He has 4 homers this year. Wastes one in the dirt. 2-2. So we were saying about this date in history. In 1904, Cy Young.
Right.
It's the Pitcher's Award, Best Pitching. A perfect game in 1904 against Rube Waddell, another Hall of Famer, Philadelphia A's, 3-0. It's significant. Line to left and caught. Quentin perfectly placed.
Hey, this season the Padres are proud, very proud, to offer first responders recognition pricing. Members of the first responders community can receive $6 off available tickets priced $14 or higher. Some restrictions may apply, so visit the Petco Park box office for all the details. A great way to say thank you for all the first responders. A job well done. We appreciate what you do for us in our community.
Amen. So 2 outs. The hitter is A.J. Pollock, striking out and grounded to short. So back to this day in history. Cy Young, a perfecto against Rube Waddell, Philadelphia A's. The reason it's significant, it was the first perfect game pitched by a major leaguer in some years, because in 1893 they moved the mound to 60 feet 6 inches. First time a perfect game had been pitched from that distance.
What was
it used
before?
to be 45 feet.
Wow.
Would you have loved that? Huh?
Little League's 45,
yeah.
Isn't it?
Would you have loved that? Huh?
Oh man,
you'd be headed toward the HOF in Cooperstown.
That is unbelievable. Could you imagine like Nolan Ryan and?
Well, but I think they were hardly wearing gloves, barehanded, and the catcher was standing back of home plate, catching the ball in one bounce. But first time a perfect game. Cy Young, that's the man. And a little quiz for you. Fly ball to right. Denorfia there. Inning over. I'll wait for your answer. For whom did Cy Young pitch when he threw that perfecto?
Okay. Produced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres. Mr. Enberg.
All right, Mr. Grant. The bottom of the 6th inning, each pitcher allowing only 3 hits. Padres with a 2-1 lead. One of those runs knocked in by Chase Headley back in the 1st inning with a line drive to center, deep drive to left field, his 2nd time up. Late swing. .90 pitches now for the right-hander, Ian Kennedy. Oh, that one hit him in the shoulder. So hit by pitch to lead off the 6th. and brings up Carlos Quentin.
I'm trying to bury the fastball inside. It seems like Kennedy's been doing that once we've gotten later in the game, last inning and now this inning, trying to throw the fastball into the left-handed hitters. That one gets away from him. And, hey, the way the Padres can make that hurt, have him come around to score.
Right. Second look, it was more down on the arm between the shoulder and elbow. And here's Carlos Quentin, fly to center and line to shortstop the last time. He's about due to get into one,
yes,
isn't he?
Absolutely. Looks like a cut fastball, first pitch to Carlos Quentin.
Padres haven't had a hit since the first inning. Foul tip into the mask of catcher Montero. In that first inning, a double Cabrera, walk to Denorfia. Headley singled in a run. A fly ball to right that moved Denorfia to third, and he scored on a sacrifice fly Alonso. And then before the inning was over, Jerko with a single, and that's the total offense of the Padres. 2 runs, 3 hits. That ball hit high to left center field, but how far? To the wall. Caught by Pollock, and Headley returns to first. Just missed.
Got under it a little bit too much, and as I mentioned, it seems like Kennedy is throwing more fastballs this time around. 2 high fastballs, and that was the one where he just worked under it just a little bit too much. I'm talking what, a 1/16 of an inch maybe? He gets on top of that ball a little bit more, and it's a different story. It's a 2-run shot.
But a long out, and here's under Alonso, sacrifice fly for his 20th RBI of the season and a ground out.
You know what I'd like to do a study on? Just what I was just talking about. The difference between that ball hit, if you could really break it down. And
you could do that.
You know what I'm saying? And just to give the fans an idea, when we say missed it by that much, how much is that much? And I'm telling you, folks, it is. It's less than 1/4 of an inch.
That's that old tough thing to do. Hit a round ball with a round bat squarely. Yeah, you could go into it, you know.
Let's get Mythbusters on it.
You know, in a laboratory, and you know, mark it just with a, not with a human swing, but you know, with a mechanical robot swing, and measure. That would be a nice study.
Well, here it is on contact. This is what I'm talking about. You know, if he gets on top of that ball just a little bit more, he's just working underneath. And it's, you know, you need some high-speed cameras and some protractors and some, you know, ball bearings and 3-in-1 motor oil to get it all, you know, to get all the right stuff, you know, all the right information.
Yeah, okay, you qualify. The mad scientist will get you in the laboratory. And you figure it out.
Get the beakers going and the Bunsen burners.
Well, you got to do that. You know, it's like my idea that I'd be willing to be wired up. I mean, we have all these wonderful universities here and hospitals, totally wired up for all the vital signs during a broadcast.
Okay.
And you could take my brain waves.
Wow.
You could take my pulse, my body temperature, you know, blood pressure. Because I just like to, it'd be interesting to know, you know, in a good game, is it any different than when it's a bad game? Because in a bad game, I go home exhausted. I work just as hard in a good game, but I don't feel exhausted. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
And it'd be, you know, you could time it up with the plays, like on a potential home run. Does my blood pressure go way up and my pulse rate go up?
Right.
And when a bad play's made, will I go way down? I'd like to, you know, you could wire me up anywhere you want to.
Or I say one of my bad jokes and it just...
Deadline? No, I don't like that one.
That'd be a good one.
No, you're too much of a mad scientist. Oh yeah, the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it might look a little silly, but it would be an interesting little experiment. Maybe there's something we would learn about human anatomy, physiology out of it all. 2-2 now to Alonso. 1 out and Headley still at first. Be a nice thesis for a master's candidate, maybe.
Yeah.
Or even a senior study of some sort. I'm sure some bright college student would figure a way to even expand that. But I volunteer.
to the head of the class. Excuse me, Mr. Enberg.
Getting all choked up
Yeah.
just thinking about it.
I found that frog.
That was a tennis racket. It was
Didn't have
in
the
your
tennis
throat?
racket with it.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, they still make some of those strings on the tennis racket out of catfish.
That's
so
right.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Come in here purring. Foul. And it's strike 3 to Alonso. Caught cleanly by Montero. 2 away. It's 5 strikeouts for Kennedy.
You notice Kennedy's going more of the fastball, guys? Huh? That was a fastball. Late on it. Alonso tips it down and away. And that's when Kennedy is on his game. Locating it down and away to both righties and lefties alike.
Jed Jerko, the last base hit off Kennedy, and that was with 2 outs in the first inning.
It was a cut fastball. He's thrown as many as 121 against the Padres. That was back in last year in September.
A typical game, though, his offense not supporting him well.
Yep. The most he's thrown this year has been 108 against the Dodgers back on April 13th.
Lays that one down the middle. A changeup. 1-1 to Jerko. Some heavy clouds surrounding Petco Park. Red light sprinkle before the game and during the game. Nothing serious. 1-2.
Jed having a nice series, 5 for 10. Now that's some kind of nice. Well, the only extra base hit for the club this afternoon was that leadoff double by Cabrera. That's been it.
First inning.
Yeah. On the other hand, other side of your scorecard, 3 extra base hits for the Diamondbacks. The double in the first, home run, Gregorius, and the double by Kennedy.
Pitcher dominated. Ever since Headley got on, each time Kennedy acts as though he's an old-time base stealer. And another throw over there. Sees Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. Insane clown posse in the house.
Another off-speed changeup. 2-2 to Jerko. Ball 3. Speaking of in the house, and apparently well hidden, Jay Paris, the writer for the sports department, Union Tribune, has brought arguably the greatest tennis player in history with him today, watching the game, Rod Laver.
Nice.
Rod, always a bashful sort, and they're up underneath. Our cameras can't seem to locate him, but good to have the Rocket.
Yeah, he was something,
Rod
wasn't
Laver. Great man. So humble. Full count, runner off. And fouled by Jerko on an awkward swing.
We had a peek at Ian Kennedy's grip on that changeup that he's been throwing so many times this afternoon. From the stretch, he always has it in that position. There it is there. It's almost like the Vulcan grip in between his ring finger and middle finger, and then he'll adjust accordingly in his glove. Gosh, that hurts my tendons in my hand just looking at it.
Full count. Headley off again with the pitch. Whenever.
Jed Jerko needs to wake up this crowd with an extra base hit.
That may be the one. It's high, it's long, and he will touch them all. Two-run shot for Jed Jerko, and the Padres take a 4-1 lead. Good call, Mark Grant. And the Padres did make Kennedy pay for the hit batsman of Headley to open the frame.
Let me tell you a story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer. Barely kept his family fed. Tell you what, he fed on that fastball. You go, Jed Jerko.
His second home run. Big blast for Jed Jerko, continuing a terrific series here against the D-backs. No doubt about that one.
You keep swinging that shillelagh, Jed. That was awesome.
Will Venable fouls that one back. 2 strikes on Will. And with that home run, one has to think Kennedy's day is over. He's due to hit third in the top of the 7th. No one throwing as yet, however, in the Arizona bullpen. Bit surprising. This will be his 110th delivery, and Kirk Gibson checking that lineup card. 2-2.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling, huh? Perfect swing, hit it on the sweet spot, send it a long way, give it some breathing room for the Padres and Edinson Volquez.
That ball hit well to right field and down in the corner, and that's gone into the Petco porch. Venable touches them all. It's 5-1 Padres, back to back. Jerko and Venable out at Petco. And here comes Gibson to the mound.
2-2 off-speed pitch. Catches enough of the plate to where Will Venable gets it out front, hooks it just above the yellow line on the porch.
Number 3 for Will Venable. Back-to-back, first time since Headley and Quentin hit back-to-back homers last September. 5-1 Padres. Jerko as they celebrated the back-to-back home runs and a 5-1 lead that forces the pitching change. And Matt Reynolds has come into work for Arizona, and he's on a string of scoreless efforts. 18 consecutive appearances without allowing a run, this left-hander, just 26 years of age.
Well, Matt Reynolds, a 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, splitting a slider, and to contain the left-handed hitter, splitting a slider, mostly sliders away. That's probably why Kirk Gibson inserts this lefty.
John Baker and then Volquez. With 2 outs, bases empty now. Wiped clean by a couple of home runs. That one down the middle, 1 and 2. Baker is flied out and grounded into a double play. Lanky 6'5" left-hander sends it in the dirt, 2 and 2. St. Charles, Illinois.
Yeah, a suburb just out of Chicago, a little southwest.
Struck him out. So Padres gone in the 6th, but a hit batsman Headley, and then a 2-run homer Jerko. His second, and a solo shot for Will Venable. His third. Make it 5-1.
Pomeranz with you. When we see you in the post-game show, we're going to talk about this recent power-up surge. Jed Jerko included in that, also Will Venable. But how about the pitching today by Edinson Volquez?
Yeah, Edinson Volquez's ERA continues to dive down, and the reason for that, fastball command and also the secondary stuff off of that. Edinson Volquez understood the importance of this start, and he matched that challenge.
So we're going to talk more about that in a post-game show, but also you hear from the manager, Buddy Black, and our instructional today really is a lot of fun. It can't miss. It's how to handle yourself around the plate, how to block it if you're a catcher, but also how to jar the ball loose. And wait till you see the fella who does the ball jarring. You got to stick around for that after the final out today in the post-game show, gentlemen.
Yeah, that is worth saying. Yeah, watch out, John Baker. You're going to get barreled over. So Edinson Volquez, who is not allowed to hit since pitcher Kennedy doubled back on the 3rd inning, faces KUBEL, Gregorius, who hit the home run for the only D-backs run, and then the pitcher's spot. KUBEL struck out and grounded out.
So key, and we mention it every time, Dick, to do what this inning?
Hold them down.
That's
Hold
right.
serve.
That's right.
1-1. San Diego, the Padres here at home with 4 home runs in this weekend series. Chris Denorfia with the only run for the Padres last night. Ground ball. Alonso ranging off the bag. Perfect flip to Volquez. 1 away. And Alonso with a 2-run homer in the win Friday night. Thatcher, a lefty. Thayer, a right-hander. Ready if needed. An unusual weather day this May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. sun in and out of some rather large thunderheads. I would guess there's some pretty good rain up in the foothills. Not much here along the coast. You'll go home to a wet porch in Alpine.
Yeah, there's supposed to be some rain this afternoon out there in East County. We need it, though.
Gregorius, the young shortstop with a rocket arm, and obviously he's got some power. His home run was his third. And that's coming off the disabled list, so he hasn't been in all the games. Lines that one for a base hit to left field. And the first hit since the third. And that'll bring up a pinch hitter, Cliff Pennington. Also a shortstop, infielder.
See, that's Volquez right there. He just indicated to John Baker. He dropped his elbow and kind of pushed with his hand, indicating that, you know what, I didn't get on top of that changeup. It didn't have the same action. I get under it, push it, it flattens out.
There's Pennington's numbers on the season. How big those 3 runs scored in the 6th. Insurance for Volquez and the Padres. Just missed with that fastball on the inside corner. One out here in the top of the 7th inning. High fly ball, right center field. Denorfia camped. 2 away. So Edinson Volquez with his work through 6 innings, a quality start. Parra, the leadoff man, 0 for 2. No, 0 for 3. Tried to sacrifice in the 5th inning, but into and out. And Bud Black goes to the mound. And 94 pitches into the game, Edinson Volquez is going to get relief.
That's a great afternoon of the big leagues.
He deserves a hand. A 0-3 start, and if he holds the win today, 3 in a row for Edinson Volquez. Baseball brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go. Edinson Volquez, a solid effort here on this Sunday in San Diego. 6 2/3, allowed only 4 hits. The 1 run, the home run by Didi Gregorius. Walked 3, struck out 3. And with 2 outs, Joe Thatcher comes in. Tried to get Gerardo Parra in the 7th inning with Gregorius at first base.
Well, like Mark Sweeney said, coming after out of last break, he said that this was a challenge that Edinson Volquez really needed to take a handle on, and he did just that.
Sweeping curveball from Thatcher, ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. Not what Bud Black had in mind. Martin Prado on deck. Right-handed batter. There's a strike. Dale Thayer continues to stay loose out in the bullpen. Foul. That's the mask of Baker.
Well, way to battle back here for Joe Thatcher. And John Baker indicating that, hey, the runner's going to be going here. 3 and 2, 2 outs. Be aware of that runner at first base.
Full count. Ground ball. Alonso there. That's the way to dig out a 3-0. Inning over. Man left on base. And at the stretch half of the 7th, the Padres 5, the Diamondbacks 1. And here traditionally, God bless America on this Sunday, Military Appreciation Day and Military Spouse Day here. Team in the city that quick to salute our military.
Joseph Dale, USS Rebel, Carolyn Dale. Carolyn, we have a special message for you. Please take a look at the video board.
Good afternoon, San Diego. This is Fire Controlman Chief Petty Officer Joseph Dale, aboard the guided missile destroyer USS Preble. I'd like to send my love to my East Coast and West Coast families and friends. My little girls, Zoe and Lily, I really miss you girls. And my insanely strong, brave, and talented wife, Caroline.
And now please sing along as Caroline presents God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Welcome back. Josh Colementor comes in to pitch for the Diamondbacks. We saw him Friday night. There's his numbers on the season. 207 batting average against. Jesus Guzman batting for Joe Thatcher leads it off, and then Cabrera and Denorfia in the Padres 7th inning with a 5-1 San Diego lead. One and two now to Guzman. 2 for 11 as a pinch hitter. Two balls and 2 strikes. Luke Gregerson apparently will come in to work the usual 8th inning. Strike 3 called. Guzman knew it. To the top of the order, Everett Cabrera. Cabrera, key player in this 5-1 lead because he started the Padres off on the right foot in the first inning with a double into the left field corner. That led to 2 runs against starter Ian Kennedy, and the Padres have maintained their lead throughout, adding with a pair of home runs in the 6th. His double, then a strikeout, and then he lined sharply to right field last time. Couldn't get it away from Parra. Throwing strikes, Colementor. Didn't quite get on top of that curveball. 1 and 2. He's got the real 12 and 6.
Yes, he does. He threw a nice one the other day.
Strike 3 called looking. Both Guzman and Cabrera look at strike 3. And here's Denorfia.
Staying out of the heart of the plate, and you take a look at it right at the knees. Not a bad pitch. Cabrera's thinking it's low.
Denorfia walked twice and grounded to short. Scored one of the 2 runs in the first inning. Pound on the strike zone, Colementor. Man that can be used in relief, and he's an occasional starter. Just isn't anyone that has the same delivery as Colementor. You're seeing something totally different when you stare at that over the top, almost inside out. He's almost behind his ear when he releases the ball.
They call that Iron Mike. Remember those Iron Mike pitching machines? Just come straight over the top. Here comes a curveball here.
And just got a piece of it. Stay alive. High hopper toward the hole. Gregorius with a stab and throw. Boy, great hands there. He got an in between hop. Padres in order in the 7th. It's 5-1. Oh, nice touch. Mariachi music. How merry is mariachi? Happy music.
Yeah, Bill, Craig, and Robbie down in the truck having their own little fiesta, putting that little piece together. Thank you very much.
Oh, the great one, the Rocket, Rod Laver. Not one, but 2 Grand Slams, winning the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open in one calendar year, and he did it twice. Such an impossible task. But Laver, and that's why many of us didn't see Rod Laver play. And when they vote for the greatest tennis player of all time, immediately you go to Roger Federer now.
Yeah. I remember seeing Laver play as a kid on TV.
Yeah.
And
he always showed his left arm was twice the size of the right arm.
Yeah.
Not a big man. He lives up in Carlsbad now, and he's a great sports fan. We see him often, Charger and Padre games. Great to have him here. Well, that's a real touch of greatness when you're around him. Luke Gregerson comes in for the 8th inning. Martin Prado, first man that he faces. There's that slider.
And if that pinpoint slider is pinpoint, just that, Luke Gregerson usually is lights out. Even, hitters key on that pitch. They know it's coming. Still tough to hit.
Prado, then Goldschmidt and Montero here in the 8th inning.
Very solid the last 3 times out for Luke. That's why he's cool hand. Cool under pressure.
You're playing to his dad again.
Yeah, that's right.
He's watching back in Chicago. 1-2. Ground ball. Headley into the hole. Good play. Laura McKeeman, more on Rod.
Yes, well, Dick, you were mentioning Rod Laver, and we talked to Bud Black about him a little bit before the game. Bud said they became friends at a Chargers game, and he, like Mud said, watched Rod on TV and was impressed with that left forearm. In fact, it's 12 inches, and the right one is 10.5, so a huge difference there. Bud said when he first met him, he immediately looked at the forearm to see what he could find. But he said, such a great guy and a real strong baseball knowledge. They talked about starting pitching in the pen today because, of course, that was a topic of relevance.
Yeah, 2 left-handers getting together. It's interesting that the great American Don Budge in '38 was the first to win the men's Grand Slam, and another redhead from Australia wins it twice. Might have won it more. He won it in '62 and '69. The 7 years in between, he couldn't play because he had turned professional. And he still comes back and wins it again. So he was the dominant player of the 1960s, that whole era. Bounces that one. 1-2 to Goldschmidt, who has a double, a walk, and a good play made by shortstop Cabrera to get him the last time. Yes, on the outside corner. That's how he sets him up. Slider off the plate, outside. You go after it, slider off the plate. Then he pinpoints a fastball. You think that's going to be off the plate. Stays right on the corner.
And believe me, Goldschmidt's got that slider in the back of his mind.
He's going to lay off that, thinking it's going to break off the plate, but it's a fastball. Well placed by cool hand Luke Gregerson. I like his dad, too.
In fact, Luke, yesterday in the clubhouse, yelled at me and he said, hey, my dad really, because he watches, like you mentioned, back in the Chicagoland area. He says, my dad really gets a kick out of it when you guys call him that.
Miguel Montero grounded twice to second baseman Jerko and walked. So Edison Volquez goes 6 2/3, 1 run, a home run by Gregorius, only 4 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Great outing. And the Padres now 4 outs away from securing the rubber game of this 3-game series.
a changeup from Luke Gregerson. Hey, he's breaking them all out. Boy, you can see the grip on that one. The arm action way out in front of it.
One and two. Struck him out. What an inning by Luke Gregerson. We underappreciate him. 5-1 Padres. Solid 6 2/3, allowing only the one run on the home run by Didi Gregorius. Our Carl's Jr. star of the game, and now to the bottom of the 8th inning. Military appreciation and Little League Day at Petco. David Hernandez comes in to work the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll face Headley, Quentin, and Alonso. Hernandez, great fastball, but he'll give up the long ball.
Yeah, his fastball, he can get up 95, 96, a curveball and a changeup as well.
4 home runs in 13 2/3 innings this year. First pitch is in there at 92. Headley singled and a run in the first inning, out on a long fly ball to left, hit by a pitch and scored in the 6th. Three for 7, including a home run against Hernandez.
Fastball in. See if Headley gets a good pitch to spin on right here.
Oh, he went for it.
Yeah, and he missed right down the middle of the plate. Hernandez did.
29,101 the attendance on this Sunday. Not hit that well. Parra calling and makes the catch.
Now it's time for our Twitter poll results. Earlier in the game, we posed the question, which of these is your favorite on this Cinco de Mayo? Oh, wow. Let's see here. Tacos Cinco comes in first place, 44%. Burrito Cinco, 33%. Enchilada, well, you know, and fajita, nice try today. But Laura, I get, are you upset? What are you upset at?
I forgot to cast my vote in this one. I would have picked fajitas. I love some good fajitas.
You were the professor.
Yeah, I'm with you, Laura.
What a shame. I dare say Clayton Richard will not be participating in any of these food items.
Hey, where's
today.
where's the hashtag Margarita Cinco?
There you go. 2 fly balls to center field. And a line out to short for Quentin today. And he falls behind on the count, 2 strikes.
Hey, Artie, look at the guy with the sombrero.
Let's see. I'm going to guess what that's a sports announcer.
Yeah, guess who? Kurt Gowdy?
No, you're not going to trick me on that.
Lindsey Nelson?
John Miller.
Hey, it's time to add on for the Padres, right? Dick, remember what happened yesterday?
And 2-2 now to Quentin.
I'm sorry, the first game of the series, right?
And they had a 7-3 lead, and then Parra scared the locals with a 3-run homer in the 9th off Houston Street.
That's why it's never too late to try to add on. Get out of slam range.
High fly ball. Infield, left side. Gregorius calling. 2 away.
Well, earlier in the game, we talked about Jed Jerko. Actually, we saw Jed Jerko and Will Venable go deep. On the left, high changeup. Look at Jed Jerko. Off-speed pitch, speeding up his bat. On the right, Will Venable also getting a changeup. Different location, down and away. The idea there is Jerko recognizing the soft pitch up, speeding up his bat, enabling him to spin on it. Will Venable, he went down and hooked it right in his swing path, speeding up his bat and putting it in Petco porch for 2 important swings this afternoon.
Absolutely. From 2-1, what a difference in the game, to 5-1. They're trying to beat a team that has not lost a day game all year, the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're the only major league team unbeaten under old Saul, 6-0. And they also have a terrific record on getaway games. Moving on to the next site. They're 8-1. They're on their way to Los Angeles for games tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Padres trying to end that nice little run of the D-backs. Alonso, sacrifice fly, ground out, strikeout. 1-2 upstairs. And the count goes full, DeAndre.
Hey, that's good discipline right there. Recognizing those pitches up and out of the zone.
Ball 4. Good at bat for Alonso. 2-out walk. First base runner off David Hernandez. And that gives Jerko another chance to swing the bat. He's 2 for 3, a single and a home run.
Hey, be sure to stay tuned after this one. Got Padres Live coming at you. Mike Pomeranz and Mark Sweeney going to be breaking it down. In fact, Mike Pomeranz going incognito before he hits the set out there.
Yeah, he thought the Chargers t-shirt would fool us.
They're going to have a great instructional with John Baker, how to block home plate. Look around the league. Stay tuned right after this one. Padres Live coming at you.
Eminem, how sweet. They are. 0-2. Couldn't catch up with that fastball from Hernandez. Looking ahead, top of the 9th inning, Arizona will have Chavez, Pollock, and KUBEL scheduled. Swung on and missed, strike 3. On to the top of the 9th inning with the Padres leading by 4. The Padres take a 5-1 lead. First run knocked in by Chase Headley in the first inning. Padres got 2 then, and then 3 in the 6th inning. Jerko with a 2-run homer and a solo blast by Will Venable into the Petco porch for the 5-1 lead. Arizona's run on a solo home run by D.D. Gregorius off starter Edinson Volquez back in the 3rd. Changes for the Padres. Alexi Amarista goes into center field. Venable moves to right field, and Denorfia crosses over to left with Quentin out of the game as Bud Black goes to his defensive outfield. And the pitcher is Houston Street.
Well, not a safe situation. The Padres leading by 4, 5-1 here. And you know what? If you think about this situation, I don't know whether Houston maybe lobbied for it or Bud Black's thinking, you know what, with a 4-1 lead, it doesn't have to be a safe situation. Maybe a chance for Houston Street to work on something, to go out there and get 3 quick outs.
Because normally with a 4-run lead, he would not be coming in, only in a safe situation. But after being taken long for a 3-run home run by Parra on Friday night, maybe Houston's saying, hey, I want to come in and establish more of a dominant role. Eric Chavez has lined to left twice and grounded to second. Strike 2 right on the corner. Chavez didn't think so.
Good pitch.
Yeah, that was the pitcher's pitch. The one preceding that. 1-2 the count. Changeup. He gets him. One away to A.J. Pollock.
Oh, there's a good spotted fastball. He wanted it away. Maybe wanted it down a little bit more, but off the plate just a little bit. He is peeked inside the glove. Looks like a 4-seam fastball grip. And with the way that Ted Barrett's calling strikes on off the plate, you know, hey, go right back out there. And that's exactly what he did.
Pollock has struck out, grounded out, and flied out. Only 3 D-backs with hits today. Goldschmidt a double, Gregorius a single and a home run, and pitcher Kennedy a double.
The thing that sticks out to me today about the Padres offensively, heads up. That went right by Buddy Black, in between Darren Balsley and Jason Marquis.
Right there it says Darren Balsley, but Marquis and Balsley were the targets of that low liner. Marquis acting as though it hit him in the ribs. 2 strikes now on Pollock.
4 of the 5 runs today for the Padres have been with 2 out. How about that?
And they continue to do that.
Yes. This is why you've got to be watching the baseball all the time.
So that means their last 25 runs, 21 of them with 2 out. That's a very good sign. Back to the mound. Houston Street. 1-3 down to the final out. Brings up Jason KUBEL. KUBEL has struck out and grounded twice to Alonso at first. Miami, after getting a 1-hitter last night and a shutout of the Phils, comes right back with a 14-2 win today. So the Marlins are going to come in a happy group tomorrow. Better get out the media guide. A lot of new names.
Oh yeah,
for Miami. Totally different team from a year ago. Two and one to KUBEL. Street trying to close the deal. And a 5-1 win. And to take the series from Arizona. And they're down to the final strike. Good arm action on that changeup.
Yep.
Up high. Fans rooting for a strikeout to close it. Out of play. Arizona up to Dodger Stadium for games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, while the Padres will entertain the Miami Marlins. Tomorrow night, 6:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. Andrew Kastner against Wade LeBlanc. Struck him out. And the ball game is over. The Padres win it 5-1 and take the series to